Alright, hey there. Hey YouTube, Miguel here, and this is my fourth time now trying to make this video. And so today's video topic is going to be about ancestor altars. And the reason why I'm making today's video is because it's Monday, and I've said in my other videos that every Monday I go to my altars, I clean them out, whether like whatever's left, whether it's the incense, whether it's the glass from the candles, whether it's little metal tins, whatever it is, and the food and all that shit. Whatever it is, I take it off the altars and I dispose of it where it needs to go. Usually I take it to the crossroads and I do my thing there. So I just want to talk a little bit about what it is, what they do, how I work with them, and yeah. So ancestor altars. They're, as far as I know, they come from, and not only come from, but this is where I learned about them, is through like hoodoo, through root work, like a lot of the down south folk magic areas. I mean, places like Mexico, they do. I don't know if they have ancestor altars, but they have the Los Muertos where they honor their dead and their ancestors and their loved ones. But down south and in Africa and these kind of folk magic. It's not a religion. They work with their ancestors a lot. They call on their ancestors a lot. I'm not sure if Native Americans do or not, but I'm not trying to get off topic. So, as far as I know, that's where they play a very big role. Is like Africa and like down south, and more of the obviously more of the folk places in the world or whatever use a lot more of this, because I never heard about this through Wicca, and that's where I got started. I didn't really hear about it from the Western side because they were very into ceremonial stuff, the Western mysticism and stuff. And okay, so that's where it comes from, as far as I know, is like Africa or down south and places like that. And the way that it's worked with is you set up an altar that's dedicated for your loved ones who have passed on to the other side, whether you know who they are or you don't. And like relatives that have just passed away and stuff, and you get their pictures, or you get like things that remind you of them that they may have touched, maybe a little piece of clothing, cut off a little scarf, whatever it is, a picture, handwriting, whatever you could get of theirs, try and get that, because that's a link to them. And this video is probably going to be, I'm going to talk a little fast because I don't know how long I could record, because this is an 8 gigabyte iPod. But enough of that. The way that I work with the Ancestor altar, because I've had it up since last November. Today's March 18th, 2013. I've had mine set up since November 2nd, 2012. And the way that I work with the Ancestors altar is I set up their altar. I have my, what is that called? Like a family tree, like a report of like where my family came from and each of their names, who they were married to, that sort of thing on my dad's side of the family. And then I have pictures of like different relatives that have passed away, and if I don't have their pictures, I write down their names. So you could do that too. If you don't have a picture of them, write down their name and maybe have a little symbol that reminds you of them. And so you would do that. And for me, the way I set up my altar, I'm looking at it right now, the way I set mine up is I have a white plate where I leave my food offerings. I have 3 different cups. I have a cup in the center for the coffee that I don't give them coffee too often because it goes bad within a week. But I do sometimes. And then I have a clear cup for water, and then I have a little shot glass because I mean, not that it's because, well, no, it is because I'm Mexican and we like our tequila, we like our shots, so fuck it. And I don't give them tequila all the time. I'll leave them an offering of tequila when I feel that they need an extra kick in their work, or if like we're celebrating something. And I have candles that I set up for them. I have incense. I have a prayer. I have a bracelet. I have a bracelet that is a saint bracelet because the majority of my family, my ancestors were Catholic, and so that to me, I'm not Catholic, but they have that link towards Catholicism, so I leave it like that. Anyways, then I have a bracelet that I have up there that has a bunch of skulls on it, and the reason why I have that up there is so that way because I told them that for them to charge it, and then when I wear it, their energy will be connected to that. So that way, when I wear it, the ancestors are walking with me, and I have a link to them. And yeah, so for me, the way I work with the ancestors altar is I have the offerings that I leave them. I pray every Monday. I tell them good night and good morning. Sometimes I don't do it every single day or whatever. I probably should, but when I feel like it, I do. And it is a place where you could go to where if you don't feel that connected maybe to your goddess or to your spirits or whatever it is, they always say that you ask the ancestors first. And the way that I learned about it is that you have your family in this world, and your family is always trying to look out for you. Your family is always going to be there for you. So your ancestors are your family. They are you and you are them. You go to your family when you need help, when you need assistance with stuff like in the here and now. And so the way I call upon them is like maybe a family member of mine is going through some stuff like health or stressed out or they need a job or whatever it is. I'll, go to them and kneel in front of my altar. I'll talk to them and I'll ask them like, if you could assist this person, I'd be grateful, and then I leave them an offering and stuff. And I find that, or the way that I learned about it is that even though your ancestors have passed on into the next world, they're still here in spirit form. Blackie, it's my dog. She's growling and shit. Um, they're still here with you in the spirit form, and so since they are your family, they're still trying to look out for you because they live on through us because their spirit, not their spirit, but their DNA, their name is our name. For me, Correa. And so for them, Correa, like all their blood is in me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that connection that we have to our ancestors, to our loved ones. So they want us to be successful. Even though they're in the spirit form, they can work through the spiritual world in order to pull the strings that we need in this world. Maybe they give a nudge. Maybe they talk to some other beings. Maybe they open up the world. They just work. I've done it, believe me, and I've seen stuff happen like within a day or two when I've asked them to do something, and it works. It's pretty badass. And for me, like I'll be honest, there's days that I don't feel connected to the altars, like lately because I've been going out. Cause my birthday was just March 15th. I turned 22, and like these past couple of days, I didn't feel that connected to my altars. But that was only because I wasn't really working with them. I wasn't like going to them every day like I usually do and praying and doing my thing. But I mean, that's just something I got to work on. So I mean, there's gonna be days. I'm not telling you like, oh gosh, every day like you're gonna feel so connected to your family and to your ancestors. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is you start to appreciate more about like what your family from the past, I mean all the way back from the beginning of time, did for you in order for you to be here today. Without them, we could not exist. So for that alone, you should be grateful. You should be thankful. And the way that I learned from a conjure worker named Mama Star is the fact that for the first month, every Monday for the first month, you give them offerings, you pray to them, you talk to them, and don't ask them for anything. Just let them know that you're grateful. Let them know that you're thankful for all that they've done for you. And so I'm going to leave you guys with like a little working you could do. You set up your altar for your ancestors, and only for your ancestors. Do not put any pictures of people that are still alive, okay? Don't do that because then your ancestors might try and take them. Not like in a scary way, but yeah, they could take them onto the other side. So from what I was taught is you do not ever put pictures of living people on your ancestors' altar because it's only for people and loved ones who have passed on into the next world. And so, like I was saying, the working that I'm going to give you guys is you guys set up an altar for them. Get like a white handkerchief or a white cloth. Put that, get your water, get your incense, get your candles, get your pictures, and when you have all that set up, let your ancestors know that this is a sacred space for them to come, for them to eat from the offerings, to communicate. And then when you have all that set up and when you let them know that it's theirs, knock on the altar 3 times and then state your full name. Like, I'm not going to give you guys my full name, but if it was like John Doe the Third, I would put the full name. And then you just talk to them and you tell them whatever it is that you're grateful for, or what it is that you're doing there, and then that way that they know that it's a way to wake up the altar, and it's a way to call them. And what I do is I say, my ancestors and my loved ones from the other side, and then I say all four of both my mom's side of the family, their last name, and then my dad's side of the family, I say their last name. And I say, may you all join me now as I call to you, and may you be here as I honor and as I thank you and I give you these offerings. So you could try that working, see how that goes, and let me know. Alright, see ya.